Welcome to Video 4, Session 4. So here we'll discuss a high-level conceptual data models and record-based logical data models. So a data model is, well, just like the name implies, it is a model of the system or the business that we are trying to track. So it's just like all models are simplifications, it's a way of simplifying the entities and just capturing the data that we need. So a data model is a collection of the concepts in the data that can be used to describe the entity and build it into the structure of the database. And the structure of the database means the database types, the relationships, and the constraints. In addition, most data models include a set of basic operations for specifying retrievals and modifications on the database. So a data model also provides a way to achieve data abstraction. So data abstraction refers to hiding certain details of how the data are stored and maintained with several levels of abstraction. The user's view of the database is simplified and leads to an improved understanding of the data. In other words, we can also state this as shielding the user from the technical details of the data. We discuss data abstraction in depth in the next session. So let's discuss types of data models, the high-level conceptual data models and record-based logical data models. So a high-level conceptual data models provide concepts that are close to the way that people perceive the data and to present the data. So a typical example of this type is entity relationship model, in which the main concepts of entities and attributes of and real-world objects and how they relate to other objects. So it's again, what is the business process for this data application. So an entity represents a real-world object such as a customer or employee for a project, and an entity has some attributes like name, like address, and they represent specific properties of the entity, again, such as name, address, birth date. And a relationship represents an association amongst the other entities within the application, so between the employer and the employee. Types of data models. So there's record-based logical data models, and that can be understood by the user, but it's not too far from the way data is stored on the computer. So three well-known data models of this type are the relational data model, the network data model, and the hierarchical data model. So if we look here, types of data models, we'll discuss each type in depth in the next session. But we can see here a logical data model, physical data. Physical data is the actual text data you see when viewing a database. We can see here the object-based, the record-based. So we can see here the object-based is modeling and is based on an approach, whereas here we are looking at the methods for modeling the data. And the types of data models. So for more details, please consult your course materials. And here is an example of the hierarchical data tree. So we have here a college, department, infrastructure, courses, teachers. So these could be different databases. They could be different data tables. Typically, though, we don't even know that. We just want to, number one, capture the organizations first, the business interaction. This way, we at least know the type of data we need. This is really why we want to model data, because we want to be sure that we know the type of data that we'll need.